Sure. Thank you. Um, so let's start like at a biological level, right? And just go with that at first. So every time that a man ejaculates, he releases prolactin in his system. Prolactin is why when after you finish ejaculating, you just want to go to sleep, you know,
Yeah.
right? Right. It's like, "Oh, I'm done, tired, right? It's because in a way, nature is like saying, hey, you've done your biological duty. So if we look at it strictly from a biological perspective, it is the duty of a man to ejaculate. But the ejaculation, the nature of an ejaculation is for procreation. It's not for our pleasure. And that's the first thing that we have to understand that goes against modern culture, right? That's why I could totally relate. Like, there was a point in my life, if you said, you're going to practice semen retention and teach men to be chaste, I was going to be like, heck no. I got nothing. I don't want nothing to do with that. Or if you even mentioned God, I would have been like, oh, that's just nonsense. So I can understand like where the mindset is because I was in that and I empathize. I get it. I'm just like, that's why I don't want to judge people or think that,
Yeah.
we should. It's like, hey, look, everybody's looking for happiness. Everybody.
Mm.
Some people are looking for it in God. Some people are looking for it in the bottle, or the adult content, and so we all want the same thing. So the reason that one mistake that we've made in the modern world is that because it's pleasurable, we are addicted to pleasure in a way. And that's because we know that the soul's natural state is pleasure, but we mistake ourselves to being the body. So we're trying to extract as much pleasure from the body as possible. But the nature of ejaculation, like what is the purpose of it, is actually to create a baby. So therefore, ejaculation is ultimately to create babies. When a man ejaculates, the biology, the physical apparatus, the machinery doesn't know whether you've ejaculated for the purpose of creating a baby or because you were watching online content or whatever it is. It just knows you ejaculated, and just like a trigger, it just like, oh, ejaculation, prolactin. Now,
Mm.
prolactin is why you feel tired, and prolactin is like kind of like your body going, oh, okay, he did his biological duty today. There's potential that our DNA can move forward and create new life. Challenge is that in nature, nobody would be having that much S3X. Like nobody would be, if you were just simply ejaculating for the purpose of a baby, you would not be ejaculating on a daily basis. Even if
Yeah.
you were like Casanova, you were the alpha of all alpha males. You would still have some regulation just by nature. Because if you just went with ejaculation with a partner, right away there's going to be a regulation.
Mm.
So what happens is when a man ejaculates, this prolactin is released, and that prolactin actually tells the body to also stop producing testosterone for a few. So because it's like, hey, testosterone is what makes us masculine, what makes us men. And because you've done your biological duty, it's kind of saying, hey, you can chill out for a little bit. That's why you want to chill out after you ejaculate, because you're just like, I got to chill out now. This prolactin stifles testosterone growth. Now imagine that if you are ejaculating constantly, you are constantly stifling your production of testosterone. Therefore, you're stifling the very hormone that's giving you your masculine qualities. It's proven, it's already known that our generation has less testosterone levels than our fathers and our grandfathers. And what modern medicine has done is they've lowered the standards. But what we're saying is don't lower the standards. Let's take a look at why that is. One is massively has to do with the amount of self-pleasuring through adult content online and then overall lifestyle. So here's what happens. When you practice semen retention, and this is a bit different for every man, there's variables, right? Depending on your weight, body fat percentage, lifestyle, all kinds of variables. But generally speaking, between 7 to 10 to 14 days, as a man retains, his body, his own biology is going to say, hey, this guy's not being fruitful and multiplying. We've had no chance to procreate. So we got to make him a little bit more attractive. So what the body does is it stimulates the testicles to produce more testosterone. And this is where you get a testosterone boost. And this is where guys feel that like, whoa, all
We have
right?
our trees
Yeah.
under
Whoa.
the world. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
want to
sense.
rule
That
the
makes sense.
world. Yeah,
It's nature, the way nature is made, that we can reproduce and recreate.
that's right. So
Yeah.
nature, the body goes, here's some testosterone to get you going. And testosterone increases your masculine qualities. So what it does is essentially is it increases the amount of testosterone flowing through your body, which then therefore increases your energy and your drive. Now, what also happens with semen retention is if you start to extend, you really regulate it 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, and longer, is that the body's constantly creating semen. So, according to Ayurveda, whatever you ate roughly about 30 days ago is
Mhm.
going through these 7 layers of refinement called dutas. And it's going through these refinements all the way till it refines to bone, bone becomes marrow, and from marrow, it drips out semen. So, what is semen? Semen is concentrated blood or refined or purified blood. So, the practice of flow and being ultimately at your best starts with what you eat, because what you eat gets refined into the different layers of your body, your muscle, your tissue, your bone, your marrow. And then the best stuff, proteins, enzymes, nutrients, phosphate, zinc, all your best stuff gets poured into the semen, and the semen is then stored for the potential of giving the right nutrients mixed with the sperm to create the best chance for life. So it has everything to do with reproduction. Now, when you practice semen retention, you begin to retain that energy. The body's still creating semen, but then it's kind of coming into like an abundance of semen where it's like, okay, like we've got a lot here going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that and we're going to reabsorb it back into the bloodstream and redistribute it through the body. And now here comes a bit of a fight for resources. You have to understand there's a battle between in every man between his balls and his brain. And this battle is real, not just psychological, but for now, we're just talking on the biological level. What happens is because you've retained and you have a lot of good nutrients and phosphate and zinc, and your testosterone is being stimulated, your body is starting to redistribute all of those nutrients through the bloodstream. And it first starts by one, storing for reproduction. Now it's got enough for reproduction. It then, two, starts to repair you at a cellular level, and it starts to send nutrients into your body in which you need nutrients. So a bit of that liver damage gets some nutrients. A bit of that lung damage gets some nutrients. It basically puts you into a state of healing.
You can heal yourself. Wow, it's like
You start to heal. And this is where guys will experience things like thicker hair.
yeah.
It doesn't totally solve the problem, but a bit thicker hair,
No, I have
brighter
thicker hair.
eyes.
I just let my hair grow recently, and I
Okay.
didn't know that my hair is so thick. Before I was a monk, my hair was very thin. Yeah,
Yes.
and now 13 years later, I let my hair grow, and all of a sudden, very thick.
Amazing. I grew a beard after practicing semen retention. I could never grow. My hair was always thin, right? Always thin. And I generally keep my hair like shaved. But I started to grow a beard after practicing semen retention. Brighter eyes. Guys have this shine in their eyes. Their voice sometimes gets deeper. Every guy is different. So because everybody has a unique physical body, just like we have unique fingerprints, the results are a bit unique in the sense of, but overall, the principle is you will notice more masculine qualities. Easier to lose weight, easier to gain muscle, more energy to work out, athleticism. That's why athletes do this, because they know it gives them that extra drive, it gives them an edge.
Before the box ring, before the fight.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
World heavyweight champion David Haye said, no sex, no ejaculation 6 weeks before a fight. he had this saying even that he says, even if a woman would approach me in a dream, I would say, no, I need that for my fight.
I
Right?
would have a bunch of questions. I try to fit it in
Okay,
somehow.
yeah. You gotta interrupt me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just interesting because there's a difference between an orgasm and ejaculation. Yeah.
Yes,
And for a woman, like what I know is they don't lose this energy like we do. Yeah.
that's right.
Because they don't ejaculate like we do. They have an orgasm.
Yes.
Can you speak about it? What's the difference? Like, it's a misunderstanding. Yeah.
Yeah. So orgasm is an energetic pulsation, and ejaculation is the physical semen leaving the body. So because in a man, because our pulsation of energy and our awareness during any kind of intimacy or self pleasure is in the genitals. Remember, where your awareness is where your energy is. So because our awareness is all in the genitals during sexual activity, when we have that pulsation of energy, we have an ejaculation.
When we just think about it and already it goes down. Yeah.
The body goes where the mind goes.
Mm.
So non-ejaculatory orgasms, which is like what I practice so that I still have intimacy with my wife and still make love with my wife, but I still regulate my ejaculation, is non-ejaculatory orgasms where you learn to draw that energy up and around the body and have that pulsation as a full body orgasm. Now, can I circle back to that because what I want to do is like just kind of wrap up the biological explanation,
Yeah, sure.
then the mental, and then we could talk about the energy of it, just so it has like a sequence of like
Okay, okay.
evolving.
Yeah.